Hello everyone, I welcome you all for chapter number 10, and this chapter is going to be the most important chapter for you in the subject of marketing. So this chapter we are going to talk about the channels, not the Hotstar or Netflix. We are going to talk about the marketing channels, which are nothing but the intermediaries who help you deliver the product to the final customer. So this chapter is named as Marketing Channels Delivering Customer Value. So the main idea is to make sure that the product reaches the customer on time, because at the end of the day, after looking at all the product related advertisement, after explaining yourself that the price is good enough, now the customer wants to make a purchase. So where should he go and make a purchase? So if I ask you a simple question, if you want to purchase a Lexify pen or a Cello pen or a Rotomac or a Reynolds, any pen that you are using, if you want to buy that pen, where will you purchase that pen from? Okay, so I am sure you have the answers. Now if you want to purchase a shirt for yourself, where will you buy that shirt from? I am sure the answer is different than the first question answer, where you answered for the pen. Now if I ask you all, where will you go and purchase Lamborghini from? I am sure you have a totally different answer, or at times you might not have any answer. You might be searching it on Google. And this is precisely the companies will take decision when it comes to taking the decision about channels. And as I asked you all this question, I am sure you have different answer depending upon the place where you live. There are chances that you might be living in a very neighborhood area where the Lamborghini is getting sold. There are chances that you might be living in the same building where you are getting or where you are purchasing your shirt from. So things might vary depending upon the place where you live in, but majority of the times companies will take a conscious decision of making their product available to their customer at the right place. And this is what this chapter is all about. This is the third P of marketing. So we studied product, we studied price. Now this is the third P of marketing, which is place. This whole chapter is divided into 5 sections. In the first section, you are going to learn about why companies use marketing channels, and we are also going to discuss the functions that these channels perform. In second section, we are going to cover how channel members interact and how they organize to perform the work of the channel. In section 3, we are going to talk about the major channel alternative open to a company. Because as a company, I just don't want to rely on one channel of distribution. I want to sell my products through another channel of distribution as well. Then in section 4, we are going to talk about how companies select, motivate and evaluate channel members. And in the last section, we are going to cover the nature and importance of marketing logistics and integrated supply chain management. So some of you who have taken the supply chain as a specialization, for you there will be a brief introduction to the supply chain. So let us go ahead and get started with section 1 of this particular chapter. So now let us understand why companies use marketing channels, and let us also discuss the functions that these channels perform. And yes, we are on the section 1 of this chapter, which is all about channels. So in this session, we will explore the intricate relationships between companies, their suppliers, their distributors and the final customers. How these relationships contribute to the creation of customer value. So we are going to study this in more detail. They all fall into the bigger jargon of management, and that is supply chain. What is supply chain? Supply chain is managing chain of supplies. It is very simple. You manage the chain of supplies either from the supplier side or towards the customer side. So a supply chain encompasses the entire journey of a product or service from its conception to its delivery to the end consumer. So basically making sure that the product reaches from the point of production to the point of consumption. It involves establishing connections not only with customers but also with crucial suppliers and resellers. There are large number of resellers in the country. They take the product from their immediate intermediary. For example, as a retailer, I might be taking it from the wholesaler and I will pass it on to the customer, because please remember the ultimate objective from the point of production to the point of consumption. So think of it as a network of interconnected entities that collaborate to bring a product or service to a market. So now we will talk about two elements in supply chain. One is upstream supply chain and another is downstream. When you manage the flow of supply of raw material inside your organization, that is upstream. And when you manage the flow of finished goods outside your organization, that is downstream. So in downstream, you are servicing your customers, and in upstream, you are being serviced by the suppliers. So please remember one thing, your upstream is somebody else's downstream, because your raw material is somebody else's finished goods. So this brings us to the two concepts within supply chain, that is supply chain and demand chain. So in supply chain, we make and sell the product. Basically products like soap, shampoo. So companies will forecast the future sales of products like soap or shampoo. They will manufacture the product and they will make sure that the product reaches either the wholesaler or the retailer. So make and sell view includes the firm's raw materials, productive inputs and factory capacity, and should serve as the starting point for market planning. So you make and then you sell. Whereas in demand chain, we talk about sense and response. Now what do we mean by sense and respond? Here we will try to understand the need of the customer. Here by default the product is as such that you cannot create the product in advance and sell it to the customer. For example, you want to construct a bridge. Can you just keep a ready-made bridge available in your store? Not possible. You will understand the need, you will sense the need, and then you will respond. So sense and respond view of the market suggests that planning starts with the need of the target customer, to which the company responds by organizing a chain of resources and activities with the goal of creating customer value. So I hope the concept of upstream and downstream is clear. To reiterate, upstream partners refer to the entities that provide the necessary materials, components, information, finances and expertise required for creating a product or service. On the other hand, downstream partners such as wholesaler and retailers play a vital role in connecting with the company and its customers. So the term supply chain implies a focus on production and sales. However, a more customer-centric view suggests the term demand chain, where planning begins by understanding customer needs. And then we need to create and arrange resources and activities to fulfill those needs effectively. Like I gave you the example of a bridge. So most modern companies are not confined to simple supply or demand chains. Instead, they operate within a complex, ever-evolving value delivery network. Now, you would be wondering, what is ever-evolving in delivery network? So, many years before, we had no online platform to connect the buyer with the seller. But today, the new network has been created. Can companies afford to not to be available on the online platform? In that case, you might lose a huge customer base. So this network comprises the company itself, suppliers, distributors, and customers, all collaborating to enhance the overall system's performance. Let us take few examples. Let us take the example of Pepsi, a renowned beverage company. I am sure you would have had Pepsi at multiple locations. If you go to Burger King, you might get Pepsi. You go to a local Suksagar, you might get Pepsi. But have you ever imagined that how Pepsi makes it available in all these locations? So for just one of its product lines, like its classic colas, Pepsi manages a vast network of professionals within the company, suppliers, bottlers, and retailers. That is where they have done the tie-up even with best of the players like Kroger to Papa John's Pizza. And they have also joined hands with various marketing intermediaries who can help them deliver their products to the final customer. So this network must harmonize its efforts to create a customer value and uphold the brand's position. Because you might do the advertisement of Pepsi with large number of celebrities. But when the customer goes to the store and if he does not get Pepsi, you have lost the whole marketing campaign. You have lost the sales of your product. So this is what we are going to study in this chapter. And we are going to cover in detail, various questions concerning marketing channels. Why are we studying this chapter? Why as a marketing guy, I need to study marketing channel? If you don't know your marketing channel, what will you promise to your customers? And that is the reason understanding few questions concerning marketing channels is important. So first thing that we need to know is the nature and the importance of marketing channels. So we are going to cover marketing channels, why they hold significance in the business landscape, and how they facilitate the movement of products from producers to consumers. Then we are also going to talk about the organization of channel firms, where we are going to learn about how various channel firms collaborate and structure themselves to carry out the functions of the channel effectively. This includes understanding roles, responsibilities, and relationship within the network. Basically, you need to know what is the role of wholesaler, what is the role of retailer, or if you have distributor or CNF agent, you should know their roles very well. Then we also should know about designing and managing channels. Here we will try to discover the challenges companies encounter when designing and managing their marketing channels. It looks very easy. Oh, manufacturer, wholesaler, retailer, customer, done. No, this is not as easy as it looks. This involves making strategic decisions about the number of intermediaries, channel length, and the optimal distribution strategy. And lastly, we should also know the role of physical distribution and supply chain management. So here we are going to uncover how physical distribution and supply chain management contribute to attracting and satisfying customers. Efficient logistics and supply chain practices play a crucial role in ensuring products reach consumers promptly and in good condition. You can even say it is all about delivering the right product to the right customer at the right time in the right quantity, with the right quality, at the right price, from the right source, and in the right condition. So, this is what the customer is looking out from you. Now, let us learn and understand the nature and importance of marketing channels.